I just hit 1k KC at Nex, and here are some things you were doing wrong. This is not a guide, and I assume you're in a mass of 10 people or more using a TBO or ACB. Phase 1, you'll notice that a lot of people dump their specs and only zeros pop up on Nyx. That is because damage is not registered until after Nyx has targeted a player and given them the cough effect. You'll be able to get 2 to 3 hits off on Nyx before having to target the mage in the corner, which you will get 1 to 2 hits off on, depending on how large your mass is. During Phase 2, you should wait for Nyx to talk about darkness and attack Nyx after the second line of dialogue is spoken from him. As, again, just like at the start, the damage is not registered until after the second line of dialogue. Now, Nyx doesn't always have to have the second piece of dialogue where he uses one of his special attacks of either targeting a player in darkness or using the dark spots on the ground. He can also just move, so sometimes there won't be a second line of dialogue, but DPS is not registered until about 5 to 10 ticks after the first line of dialogue. During Phase 2, the further away you are from Nyx, the less damage you will take while praying range. The mages in the corner, a few of them do AoE damage, so look to see who they're targeting and do not stand next to them. On Phase 3, instead of attacking Nyx as soon as he's ready, you should wait and see what he decides to do. If he does the special where he curls into a ball and spawns Blood Reavers, you should wait until he stands back up before attacking him, as you will not get any damage dealt. Instead, you will just heal him. Blood Reavers don't do anything special, so just ignore them, wait for Nyx to stand up, and attack Nyx. During Phase 3, Nyx does AoE damage with a blood spell. Make sure to not stand by whoever is being targeted, and if you are the one targeted, make sure you go hug a friend. During Phase 4, the Ice Phase, you should wait until Nyx has either decided to say contain this, or to imprison a player, or again if he decides to move, but not hit Nyx immediately as he is ready. You will waste ammo and DPS. Why waste time letting others out of the ice prison when you could be hitting Nyx? Well, if it's me, you should definitely let me out, because I am the tank. But if letting anybody else out is just a waste of DPS, let them die. In the final phase, after you kill the final mage in the corner, Nyx will go Rambo. You should wait until Soul Split is above his head, which is about 5 ticks after his dialogue, in order to have damage register. You will always be allowed to attack Nyx before it registers damage, wasting ammunition and off-ticking your DPS so that you hit at a later time, rather than just timing it for Soul Split or the special attacks or the movement of Nyx. During the final phase, you should use your Dragon Bow spec or any other specs that you have to get him down low. This is the phase that does the most damage. If you have a team that DDs and gets close to Nyx, all within melee distance, and you are being targeted by Nyx and he's doing the melee attack, it can hit up to 30s. You can protect the melee. Nyx will then attack you 2 to 3 more times and then target another player or hit everybody with a magic spell. This is optimal for taking the least amount of damage. However, if you are trying to get a mass roll to do this, you are a fool, and we all laugh at you. If COVID has taught us anything, it is that humans are not willing to work together. The last bit of advice is to wear an ancient item, so that when you pray at the altar, you also get health back, your spec back, and your run energy. During the worst case scenario, you can always run to a corner of the opposite side that Nyx is at, and just eat up and wait for the rest of the mass to finish off the kill if you were running low on supplies. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.